What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be looking back on one of my favorite NBA players' road to the NBA. And yep, that's right, we are going to be talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Alex Caruso. And while I am all for the memes about him, in all reality, he truly is a very impactful player and one that has really had an unconventional route to the NBA. We all know him today as a fan favorite, an NBA champion, a very hard worker, and perhaps even as one of the best perimeter defenders in the entire NBA. But what many people do not know is how all of that came to be. Caruso did not have anything handed to him at any level. He had to work very hard to get where he's at, and he's made it much further than many others who were in a similar position to where he was. And all of that began at College Station in Texas. That is where the legend of Alex Caruso really began to take shape. He was born and raised there, and he played both high school and college ball there as well. He attended A&M Consolidated High School, where he eventually became a standout player, with a number of offers to play college ball by the end of his senior year. But there was really only one choice for him when it came to choosing where he wanted to go to college. Being a hometown kid and always representing A&M, it was not hard for him to eventually pick Texas A&M over other colleges. In fact, he already had ties to Texas A&M even before ever playing there, because while growing up, believe it or not, he had actually been a ball boy for their men's basketball team. And yep, you heard that correctly, the future A&M legend Alex Caruso began his time there as a ball boy. However, that was only the beginning of his journey. During his time at A&M, he was never really a standout player on their team in regard to putting up big numbers, but he was without a doubt a leader on their team. Throughout the 4 years that he played at A&M, their team improved every single year. They went 18-15 during his freshman year, which was an improvement from the 14-18 record that they had during the previous year. During his sophomore year, they won 18 games again but had one fewer loss. Then during his junior year, they won over 21 games for the first time in 4 years and clearly were on the come up in their conference. Finally, during his senior year, that was when they really reached their peak potential. They won a school record of 28 games and really put Texas A&M back on the map as a college known for basketball. Led by the backcourt duo of Alex Caruso and Daniel House, they made it all the way to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament, which to this day is the furthest that A&M has ever made it in the NCAA tournament. And following their impressive tournament run, Caruso was named to the all-defensive team in his conference, and knowing the player that we know him to be now, that is definitely not a surprise. However, at that time, he clearly was not being recognized as a legitimate NBA talent. He went undrafted in the 2016 NBA draft and found himself looking for a summer league invite. He eventually did receive an invite from Philadelphia to play for their summer league team, where he was able to stand out enough to get a training camp invite from the Oklahoma City Thunder shortly after. He unfortunately did not make their 15-man roster, but he was held onto by their GLeague team, the Oklahoma City Blue, and that was where he really began to prove himself as a legitimate NBA talent. He only averaged 11.9 points per game, but he shot over 40% from the three-point line and averaged over 2 steals per game, and that dirty work that he did for their team, along with the energy and effort that he played with, was enough to catch the eye of the Lakers scouting unit. Because following that year in the G League, he was immediately offered a Summer League invite from the Lakers, and following an injury to Lonzo Ball during Summer League, Caruso was finally able to show off what he could do in front of a national audience. And even without Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram, Caruso was able to help lead them to a 2017 Summer League championship, and in result of that, he was then offered a two-way contract to remain with their team. And that is where his NBA career really began to take shape, because during the 2017-2018 NBA season, he was called up to play in 37 games throughout the year. And even while being flip-flopped between their NBA and G League teams, he was able to average 19 points per game in the G League as well. And all of that helped him make a very good impression on the Lakers, which led to him being retained on a two-way contract for another year. And after proving to clearly be capable of contributing to their NBA team in the prior year, he got even more opportunities to prove what he could do during the 2018-2019 NBA season. It did take a little while before they called him up to play regular minutes, but once they did, he ran with the opportunity that they gave him. Between a putback dunk on Kevin Durant that shocked not only LeBron, but the entire NBA world, along with a 32-point performance that won them a game over the Clippers, Caruso had now secured himself a place on their team moving forward. Even after trading for Anthony Davis and acquiring more perimeter talent in Danny Green and Avery Bradley in 2019, Caruso remained on their 15-man roster, and he clearly was a part of their plan going into that year. He arguably became new head coach Frank Vogel's favorite player. He utilized him as a spark off their bench to begin the year, but he quickly became a frequently used weapon for them and often even became a part of their fourth quarter lineups too. And along with the abundance of memes being made about him during this time, the legend of Alex Caruso really began to take form. He instantly became not only a fan favorite, but really a valuable NBA player. And following Avery Bradley electing to not join their team in the NBA bubble, his role in their team grew even further. He became a huge part of their rotation during the 2020 playoffs and even became a starter for them by the NBA Finals. And by the time he helped them win an NBA championship, Caruso had now become one of the most beloved players in the entire NBA. And for a guy who began as a ball boy at Texas A&M, I think we can all appreciate his path to the NBA. His path was very likely one of the most unconventional routes that any productive NBA player has ever taken, and he has now become the gold standard for players in the G League trying to make it onto an NBA roster. And while he may not really look like a high-level NBA player, he is currently taking his NBA career to another level right now. Not only did he sign a $37 million contract with the Chicago Bulls, but he is well on his way to becoming one of the best defenders in the entire NBA. And eventually, being named to an All-NBA defensive team would really be the cherry on top for his NBA journey. For a guy who made it to where he is purely by hard work and determination, there would be no greater way to reward that than by being recognized with an All-NBA defensive team nomination. But with that will conclude the NBA journey of Alex Caruso. And what do you guys think? Did you learn anything new about him here? Or maybe did you develop a new appreciation for him? Let me know your thoughts by commenting down below and we can talk about it there. And if you have not already, be sure to join the official Discord for the channel. I'll have it linked both on the screen and in the video description. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to everyone who took the time to watch until the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.